Hi Gabe, how are you today?
Hi, Mary. I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Very good, thank you, thank you. So soon we will be planning our event on 16th of May, Past Life Regression, and because you are kind of professional in past life regressions and you will be hosting this main event with me, so I would like to have some questions so maybe you can enlighten people and tell us a little bit about it, what is it, and what is basically past life regressions. And also maybe we can start a little bit about yourself, like who you are, also what you do. So I know you do some hypnotherapy and other things, so maybe you can tell first a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks, Marianne. I'd love to. So, yeah, I basically became a hypnotherapist because I was so intrigued by it. I just knew that um, there is a power within us that is not been fully accessed. And I knew that from a teenager. I think they say that only 10% of our brain power is being used. And so I started reading books about it when I was young and I took a detour in different paths. But sort of in my mid 40s, I got very sick. And as I was lying in bed day after day, I kept looking at the bookcase and there was a number of different books on the bookcase. And I knew that the answers were in those books. And when I started reading them, it was all about going within and finding the power within us. And I found hypnotherapy an extremely valuable tool to help expand your consciousness, expand it beyond the limits of this logical, rational brain into a more soul state awareness, into a more powerful version of ourselves. And in that expanded state, I then found a way to not only heal my illness, but then also to heal the traumas that I had experienced from childhood. Um, One of the things that also happens when there's a lot of trauma in childhood is that we sort of have these breaks or tears in the auric field and we get bleed through. So I was having spontaneous flashbacks to past lives or, parallel lives, whatever you want to call it. And I was finding it difficult to manage and navigate the world. And again, hypnotherapy was a tool that I was able to utilize and use to be able to deal with that. So I found it really useful in lots of different ways.
Wow, that's amazing. What an amazing story. So you start to healing yourself basically, and
Hmm.
that's how you learn about all this. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, what are like kind of exactly past life regression about? Like, what is it? Because we're going to do with the people, people will come over, and maybe some people don't know anything about past life regressions. Maybe you can tell us a little bit what is it about?
Yeah, past life regressions is it's looking at the fact that we've perhaps lived multiple lives, in this earth, on this realm, and that we, as a result of living those lives, whether they're some people talk about parallel lives or that they've lived before and died and then come back again, and that we develop patterns or beliefs or emotions or we carry traumas from one life to another. And that often is explained by people who come in, with these massive phobias, massive fears of fire or water or spiders, or heights. And it's like there's nothing in this life that has created that phobia. It's often something that they've brought in from another life when they've had an experience that, they might have been drowned or burnt. And there's an element of that trauma that still comes in with them as a soul into this life. So, what we do in past life regression is we're not just going back to relive a whole bunch of trauma, we're going back to find patterns, beliefs, emotions that are still stored within this physical vessel now. And they're no longer serving us. We want to release them, but they're still having an impact in our life today. So it's a process of going back and resolving the issue and integrating it and sort of inviting that part of ourselves that's sort of stuck in time to come and join us, to come and become a whole being again. And so it's such a powerful technique. I've seen a lot of different things that happen with people when we integrate that sort of part of us that's been, cut off really from the wholeness of who we are.
So,
So,
that's
and sorry, the other thing I want to say is, and it's not always about trauma. You can go back and find your gifts or your talents and bring those forward if you haven't actually brought them forward before. You can find, different positive experiences that you've had in past lives and bring them forward. Sometimes people think, oh, past life, I don't want to go back and have my head chopped off again. I've already experienced that. It's not about going back and reliving trauma. It's about resolving what's left energetically or finding positive, gifts, talents that you can bring forward.
Oh, wow. Well, looks like you also answered my other question because that was the next question to ask you. What are the benefits, what we can use it for? And looks like you already answered that too. That we can bring
Yeah.
it forward things well actually maybe we don't have it yet here, we didn't discover in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So really positive impact. So
Yeah.
something else
Oh,
would you like to say?
yeah. The one other thing I wanted to say is like it could be used for like, if people have chronic pain, if they have patterns that they want to change, they can also use it for that. Like I said, the gifts and the talents or changing sort of patterns or releasing trauma is also, yeah, what it can be used for. It's great.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, we need to show people how to heal themselves also, also this different ways. So, yeah, amazing. So, thank you for your time, and hopefully, a lot of people will come and they will be interested in this. And we see each other soon. So, everybody else who would like to come and join our event will be on again on 16th of May, and will be located here in Beverly Hills. And everything will be under the video, all information and details where you can go and book the session. It will be 3 hour session basically from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And see you there, everybody. And thank you, Gabe, again.
Thank
And
you. And yeah, definitely for this one, we're definitely concentrating on gifts and talents and positive things within the group environment. It's a great way to get a taster if you've always had an interest in past life regression, but you're a bit worried about doing one-on-one, you can come along and have a taster. So look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks,
yeah,
Marianne.
thank you. Okay, see you next time. Bye.
Okay, bye.